In my last little clip, I gave you 5 little tips for home inspections to get ready for it, make sure your house is kind of somewhat, ready for this. Well, I can tell you this, real simple. You're walking to a basement, everyone forgets this. Add a handrail so you can walk down and actually have something to grab onto. Now, this is one ugly basement. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. And that's why I'm bringing you down here, because it's one ugly basement. So, when you're walking through down here, home inspectors are gonna look through your basement as well, okay? You wanna prep before they come and make sure you have everything somewhat right. First thing I always do is check the electric panel if it's in the basement. Make sure there's no open voids. Like, sometimes they'll pull the tabs out, and when the tabs are out, what happens is someone can put their fingers in there. So the home inspectors will call that. So make sure this is clean and neat, and most important, labeled, right? So you know what to turn on and off. The next thing, walking over here, this house had some water damage in the basement. So when we were looking earlier, this band board here is rotten, so you can kind of see where the new treated wood versus the old is in place, okay? Number 3, a lot of times old chimneys don't have caps on them. If you see we put a new cap on this, it's an ugly basement, I warned you up front. This house was built in the 1930s, by the way. So this had no cap on it. We added that, and we also capped off the chimney outside, okay? The home inspector also noted in here some voids. You can see it in the distance there. I put some foam sealing all the gaps from the old pipes that came in, etc. Okay? Coming over here, make sure your hot water heater is properly piped in. Don't use PEX coming straight into the hot water heater. You have to use some other type of pipe, not PEX, okay? Make sure you have your drip leg on, pipe going to the ground. Now, very important, if you look in here, a lot of old homes have this, where they put plumbing and they notch out the beams. You see that up in there, how this is all notched out? Well, that'll get caught on a home inspection. If you look there, I put a new piece of wood in there to help and put that together and laminate it next to the other one where they cut it out. Now, I didn't do that work. That was probably like that for 40 or 50 years, okay? But the home inspector is gonna call it out, so what we did was we added that beam in there just to kind of give it the extra support. There's plenty of beams in here, but it's a thing that we just added because we know we're gonna get called out on it, okay? Down here also, always look for, and this is another common thing, junction boxes. Make sure all your wires are in junction boxes. Here's one example here, okay? You don't want any exposed wires hanging down. Make sure they're properly capped off and in a junction box every single time. You hear them working out there a little bit. Again, we're preparing here. That window there has a little bit below grade, so we're putting a bubble on it to prevent any water from hitting it and coming inside the foundation here. So that's some quick tips for you. This is one ugly basement. I brought you to it. I brought you here live. I wanted you to see it firsthand. There's no editing here. This is the factual stuff of what it looks like. This home took some water in the past, obviously. It had some water damage, as you could see from the rotten wood. We're cleaning it up. None of that stuff happened on my watch, but we had to service what we had to service, and that's what we did here. So keep that in mind. So when you're walking through a property, analyze what you see, understand it, and make the proper repairs. One more thing I want to point out to you. Old staircase, you would agree, this is a very old wood here. This wood you would never find anymore, right? Well, had to have a treated beam there to support it. We had to add that, even though it's been like that for 40, 50, 60, 70, probably 80 years, okay? Like I said, this home was built in the 1900s. So, again, thanks for watching Abboud. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that button. Thanks.